In this video now I'm going to teach you. I already show you something. Now we will create first project. So in the previous video I showed you how to do um, coding, all the steps, and I explained about variables, types of variables, and how does class method works, and I also touched some if conditions. um, I also taught some loops. Today I would like to teach about you the basic project that we are going to build now. Let's do here. Go here in src folder, create new Java class. So you can write, I'm going to write the class name is main. So I already showed you how to do what is class. So class has a open and close curly braces, and also now we need to have a main method, public static void main string args. So I already talked about this each and everything. Public, what is public static void main? If you want to know what is this all about, you should go back to my previous video, watch the video. Now I'm going to print the first project. Now we are going to print hello world. So SOUT, if you type SOUT, it will print system.out.println. So I am typing here hello world. So this is our first project. Let's so guys, you saw the first thing hello world. Now we are going to move forward with some things. So here I'm going to talk about some things. The curly braces marks the beginning and end of the block of code. System is a built-in Java class that contains useful members such as out, which is short for output. The println method, this one, short for print line, is used to print a value to the screen. So don't worry too much about system out println. Just know that you need them together to print stuff to the screen. You should also note each code statement must with semicolon. See, I already told you last time. So now we are going to we already printed some of the first project print. So now I am going to show you the numbers. You can print any numbers on the method. So let's say I will, instead of storing, you can print SOUT print 58, something like that. So if you, when you print, it will show up. So this is not a big thing right now. I already talked about some comments on Java. So this is a single comment. We talked about this one previously, but if you want to use for multiple comments, multi-line comment, start, start with and with. So this is a multi-line comment. This is a multi-line comment. So guys, so that thing will help us to know. Now we are going to talk about some variables. In Java there are different types of variables. So what is a variable? I already talked about variables are containers for storing data values. So I'm writing here variables are containers storing data values. So in Java there are different types of variables. For example, string stores text such as a hello. String values are surrounded by double quotes. Stores text such as anything, because it's surrounded with double quotes. We could say hello world. Next, int. What is int? Int stores integers like whole numbers. Not this is like integers in math, because in integers are different. Here in this it also includes whole numbers. So stores integers, whole numbers without decimals, such as it's between 123 to negative 123. I will talk this all later in about how this all works. So let's start now. Float, float. Float stores floating point numbers such as decimals, like 19.99 to negative 19.99. Let's one more. Char stores single characters. Such as, so, and also we use surrounded by single quotes, like like this, B for boy, something like that. So boolean stores values with the two states, true or false. True or false. So how can we declare variables? So I already spoke about first how do we declare. I will write here, sorry, syntax. How does syntax, like first one for variables, syntax for variables, first one like a type, what data type it is, type, next variable name, value. This is the formula how to do it, and with a semicolon. So what type is one of Java types such as int, string, and variable name is the name of the variable such as a x or name. The equal sign is used to assign a value to the variable. to create a variable that should store text. So let's write something here. So I'm going to create something. I already showed you this one. Let's say here string, right? String is a data type, name is a variable name, and I'm assigning into Winnie. So end with a semicolon. Now I'm gonna print this one, standard.println Winnie. So when you execute, you will see Winnie. Next, so we are going to, I'm going to declare one more variable. I will show you here. This is int. So first we have to declare a data type. Sorry, my num. This is a variable name. Excuse me. Assigning into 19. This is the value. Now I'm printing SOUT, then enter. Print my variable name. So here you have to use my num. Hello. So see this, because it didn't change the color because I didn't use the variable, so I have to use the variable instead of printing name, so it prints the same whatever we stored. So that's an int data type. So we can also reassign the value. For suppose now int my num equal to 19. Now I am assigning my num to 23. So what will happen now? My num is now 23. See guys, if you have any questions, ask me. The same like we can do it for a int float. So this one we did string int. I'm going to print here float my float my float equal to, I'm assigning giving value, I'm saying 7.99. so 7.78. make sure that you have, when you have to use small f then semicolon. Okay, then the char. What is char? We already talked about the name of the variable. Char is like a, we use it as a sequence of character. It's only for single values. So now I'm just saying my letter. Okay, letter, my letter equal to d semicolon. So we already used for string int float char. We have one more called, what is that? Sorry, boolean. What is boolean, friends? Boolean is like a true or false, right? So now my boolean equal to, I'm saying true. So now what we have to do is, so we have to print my float. So when you in Mac, if you use command D, it will default, it will print. So I used already my float. Now I'm gonna change this to my letter. Here I'm gonna change this one to my boolean. Friends, see the result now. We can see we can print all these. So if you have any questions, so data types are divided into two groups. First one, primitive data types, includes byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean and char. And non-primitive data types such as string, arrays and classes. We will talk about these all things later in this chapter. So data types, a primitive data type specifies the size and type of a variable values, and it has no additional methods. There are 8 primitive data types in Java. First one, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. So we will talk this later. Make sure that guys, whatever you heard now, just Google it. And if you have any questions, comment on the link. Now we are going to talk about numbers. Primitive number types are divided into two groups. Integer types stores whole numbers, positive or negative, such as 123 or negative 123 without decimals. Valid type as a byte, short, int and long. Which type we should use depends on the numeric values. Floating point types represent numbers with a fractional part containing one or more decimals. There are two types. One is float, we already talked about float. Then other one is a double. Even though there are many numeric types in Java, the most used for numbers are int for whole numbers and double for floating point numbers. However, we will describe them later in other videos. So integer type, byte, data can store whole numbers from minus 128 to positive 127. This can be used instead of int or other integer types to save memory when we can certain that the value will be within negative 128 and 127. So we will see these all examples later. Maybe you might have a question like the float or double. The precision of a floating point value indicates how many digits the value can have after the decimal point. The precision of float is only 6 or 7 decimal digits, while double variables have a precision of about 15 digits. Therefore, it is safer to use double for most calculations. So let's say I'm going to create some more variables. Float f1 equal to 35 35 f. Then I'm going to create double um 36. So let's print these two. F1 C the difference you can see here. So very often in programming we will need a data type that can only have one of two values, like yes or no, on, off, true or false. In Java has a boolean data type which can only take the values true or false. So we spoke about boolean before. So um, if you have any questions about boolean, boolean means true or false. So Java characters, also we spoke about char only stores a single character. The character must be surrounded by single quotes. So like we used here d, so it's a single character. And also alternatively, if we are familiar with the ASCII values, we can use those to display certain characters. So we will talk about those later. For now we will talk about some things. Non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types are called reference types because they refer to objects. Okay friends, one more time. Non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types are called reference types because they are refer to objects. The main difference between primitive and non-primitive data types are: primitive types are predefined, means already defined in Java. Non-primitive types are created by the programmer and is not defined by Java except for string. So non-primitive types can be used to call methods to perform certain operations, while primitive types cannot. A primitive type has always a value, while non-primitive types can be null. A primitive type starts with a lowercase letter, while non-primitive type starts with an uppercase letter. The size of primitive types depends on the data type, while non-primitive data types have all the same size. Examples of non-primitive types are strings, arrays, classes, interface, etc. We will learn these all in the later videos. So now I'm going to teach you about something. This is a very important topic: typecasting. Typecasting is when you assign a value of one primitive data type to another type. So it's simply typecasting is when you assign a value of one primitive another type. So in Java there are two types of casting: converting a smaller type to larger type size, and then converting larger type to smaller size type. This is called widening casting. So let's try this. So so everything goes inside the main method, right? Now I have a int mynum equal to 19, right my friends? Now I am converting this automatic casting into double. How can we make it double? So let's say this is called automatic. So I wanted to convert this one into double. So I'm using a variable name type double. Now my double equal to, you have to use the same variable that you used for int. What is my variable? My num. Okay guys, now I am printing this one. So what is this means? automatic automatic casting into double. Friends, I will help you from the basics to advanced level. Just stay tuned with. So we already printed, right? We already get the minum. So here I'm, because stored into variable my doubles. Now my double, see the friends. Okay, if you execute, you can see the two values. See, first one, this one, because we are reassigned, but we just did this one to the, let's say I'm gonna comment this one. Now we can see the difference. See, this one is a int, this one is a float, double. Okay friends, so if you have any questions, ask me in a comment. So now we will learn about Java operations. So I will talk this topic later. Thank you friends for watching. Please subscribe and comment.